Hi, good morning, everyone. Let's get started. So, before starting the session, any questions from previous topics? There are no questions. Fine.
Hi, Sudhir.
Yeah. Fine.
Uh, yeah, I'm newly joined Hari this side today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So, today's topic is all about package management. Yesterday, we have just started how to install packages by using dpkg command. Today, we are continuing with apt command. That's our topic for today, actually. And in the previous sessions, I have discussed about a few commands in Linux operating system. So those particular videos and recordings, all you can get it from the management. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
Hey, Sudhir, this is Santosh here. I also joined today only. So may I know, like, this is the second class or third class?
So this is fourth or fifth class, I guess. So the previous sessions are all about understanding Linux operating system commands, how to execute basic commands. Like, do you aware of the command Linux operating system, or it's new to you?
No, I am aware of it.
Sorry, you are completely new.
No. I am aware of it actually.
So what I've discussed is basic Linux commands like ls command, top command, ps command. What are the necessary commands are important for us to understand the Linux operating system? Those commands I've discussed. And then yesterday I have started about package management. So what is dpkg? What it does? What are the limitations we have in dpkg command? Today I'm starting about apt command in Ubuntu operating system. So in our entire course, we will be using Ubuntu operating system. Okay. So, and this is the latest version, what we are trying to pick. As you all know, it is Ubuntu 24.04 LTS version. On this particular version, I'm going to teach this particular, sorry, I'm teaching this Linux operating system. And if you want to set up that, we can use Oracle VirtualBox. If you are familiar with VMware Workstation, you can also choose that. It's up to you. How to set up all these things are recorded, and the management will provide you the recordings as well if you want to go through.
Sure, Sudhir. Thank you.
So now let us understand what are the sorry, just a second. Yeah. So today let us understand how we can utilize apt command in order to install the packages on Linux operating system, especially Debian flavor. Okay, so this apt command you cannot execute on Red Hat or CentOS, right? In those conditions, in that particular flavor, we have to use yum command in place of apt. So let us say we have a repositories, as I said before. And let us say this is repository. So I will just name this one as repository A, repository B, like that, for our easy way to understand. And let us say this is repository B. So don't get confused with the terminologies like registry and repository. Okay. So when we talk about Docker containers images, we will talk about registry. Okay. So now it is called as repository, or we can also call it as mirror. Okay. Now I have a system. Let us say on that system, I have installed Ubuntu operating system. Ubuntu 24.04 LTS version, for example. So I have a system where I have installed Ubuntu 24.04 version. Sorry, I have given O2. Yeah, that's fine. So we have this particular version. Now on that system, I want to install the packages. The packages are available in the repository. You might ask a question, who will upload the packages to the repository? The actual owners. For example, I developed one particular package. I will do some particular testing and all these things will be done. Once it is approved, then only we can upload into the repository with the respective repositories, wherever he wants to place it. Once the repository is uploaded by the developer into that particular respective repositories, if it is available in that repositories, we can download and we can install it. Okay. So without having the package in the repository, we cannot download and install by using apt command. In those conditions, we have to use dpkg command. So yesterday we have learned about dpkg. What are the limitations we have seen? In dpkg command, it cannot contact your repositories, first of all, and it cannot download the packages. These are the two things which it cannot do. So we have to use some other commands to download the packages, first of all, as a prerequisite. Yesterday, what command I have taught you? Duplicate command. So by using duplicate command, we have seen how to download a particular package from the website. It can also be called as package manager or some particular repository. We downloaded that particular package and we have seen how to install it. Okay, that is the first limitation what we have with dpkg. What is the second limitation? If you are trying to install any package, if the package is dependent on any other package as a prerequisite, dependency packages we call it as, if those packages are not available, we cannot install the main package. For example, you are installing some main package. You already downloaded it by using wget command, and now you are planning to install it. For example, yesterday we have seen telnet package, right? So what we have done yesterday, we went to a repository, we downloaded that particular package. After that, we have ran dpkg command and we have installed it. For example, to install this telnet package, it might need some dependencies on your system. Let us say if those are available, this package will get installed when you run this command. If the dependency packages are not available, it will fail, what we have seen yesterday. Your dpkg command cannot install dependency packages automatically. Okay, again, we have to follow the same procedure to download the dependency packages and we have to install it. It is not that easy, right? It is too complex to manage. In those two conditions, the best option that we have to prefer is apt command. apt command. So what is the benefit of apt command? This apt command will contact the repositories. Okay, if it will search for the package. If it is available, it will download and then it will install. That is the advantage of apt command, where we have some drawback in the dpkg, means the limitation of dpkg. That we have overcome by using apt. Second, what is the limitation? It cannot install the dependencies. Whereas apt command, for that particular package, what are the dependencies are needed? Those also will get downloaded and it will get installed if it is available in the repository. If it is not available in the repository, obviously it will fail. But if the dependency packages for that main package are available in the repository, it will download and it will install. Okay. But the major functionality of apt command is, which I've discussed yesterday. Let me recap again. Just a second, guys. Okay. As I told you yesterday, apt command cannot contact the repository each and every time if it is needs to install the package. First, it has to verify, right, whether the package is there in the repository or not. Unnecessarily, why it has to contact over the internet means it is consuming a lot of bandwidth if there is no functionality inside the operating system. To reduce the bandwidth utilization in your organization, the default functionality of any Linux operating system is, first, it will search within the operating system whether that repository package is available or not. But how it is going to search without contacting the repository? For every repository in your system, it will store index page. Every repository will have an index page. Just I will write here as index. Understand? It is like an index page. I told you yesterday what is meant by index page as an example. your notebook. So the notebook will have index page as a reference. What topics are covered in this particular book? Okay, what is the page number? If I want to jump to that particular specific topic, which page number I have to refer? All this information will be available in the index of the book. Similar to that, index of the repository is nothing but it will have what are the packages are available in the repository, what is the size of the package, what are the dependencies of that particular package, okay, and in which repository it is, and what else it will have metadata information. Okay, so for that particular package, what are the metadata information is needed that will get stored in the index page. I will show you the location as well where it will be available so that you will have some clear picture on this. Index. Okay. Now, first of all, if you need to have an index package, sorry, index page of that repository, first you need to store the repository information in a file inside the operating system. So the default location is to store the repository's information is /etc/apt sources dot list, or it will be .d, the location. I'll just decrease the font. Okay. So what is this location? Let me show you. /etc/apt sources.list.d. Under that, you can say ubuntu.sources. Inside that, what kind of information will be there? Repository related information. You'll have Ubuntu information. You can see types is Debian packages. This is the URL. And this is the another URL as well in order to contact the repositories. So this repositories will have Noble updates, Noble backports, this kind of repository information. And this will have main, restricted, universe, and multi-universe, or we can say just Noble-security. So this will store some amount of packages, and this will store some amount of packages. Now, for this particular two repositories, your system already has index page. Okay, how I can verify it, where it will get stored? Let me show you. So first of all, this is the repository information to which your operating system can communicate when you run apt command to install any package. So your apt command on this particular system will communicate either of this particular two repositories to search for the package and download and install. First point. Second point is where the index pages of this repository will get stored. It will be under var lib apt. Under that we can see, I think it is periodic, no, not periodic, sorry, list. Under that it will get stored all this information. Since we already ran it, it got stored. If you want a proof, let me delete this particular directory. I will clean up. I will remove this particular directory for now. -rf. Okay. Again, if I want to download, for example, what I've done here, this index pages on my system I have removed. If I removed, if I try to run any command to install the package, what will happen? Let me show you the error. Okay, for example, I'm trying to install apt is a command. What action I want to perform by using apt command? I want to install some package. So let us say install. Let us say telnet. Okay, enter. You can see it's already installed. Okay, let me try to remove it. If you remember, yesterday I have installed it. dpkg-l pipe grep telnet. Okay, let me remove this. It's saying it's already installed with the manual step instead of telnet. Okay, Let me remove this one. dpkg -r. I need to now it got removed from the system. Yesterday we have seen these commands, right? How to list the packages, how to purge. Okay. Now the package got removed. Let me run this command. What it is trying to say, first of all, it is trying to search for that and it is saying package telnet was not available. But this package is available in the repository. I know that. But why it is showing this particular message? You can see package telnet has no installation candidate. When you see this kind of error, don't imagine that the package is not available in the repository. So what we will think right now, when you run that command, it is saying package not available. So we will assume that the package is not available in the repository, whatever my system is trying to communicate. But technically, that is not the case. In the Ubuntu operating system or Debian, when you are trying to install any package for the first time on that system, okay, or if you are working on that particular system for the first time related to package management, first you need to download the index page of the repositories. So we have already configured this particular repositories on the system. I'll show you. Now I want to download the latest index page of the repository. So how will you download it? Not by using wget command. apt has its own command to download the index pages of the repository what you have configured. For that, what is the command? apt update. The old command is apt-get. The latest command is apt. We can use any one of them. It's up to you. We can say it started downloading the index pages of the repository. You might ask me a question saying that how you confirmed it downloaded. Here we can see the size. When you are looking at this particular parameter, it means that it has downloaded. This is the size of the index pages. So this is the size of the index pages. So what is the total size of the total index pages? 37.1 MB. That amount of space has been occupied on your system. Okay. So everybody got the point what I've told, or any confusion part in this until here? apt update command is used to download the index page of the repositories into your system. Now it got stored. Where it got stored? We can see this particular files will be there. You can see again they have been downloaded. You can see the files. Even though I have deleted, I don't need to worry. If I run apt update command, again it will start downloading the latest index pages of the repository. I'll ask you one simple question so that you will understand when we have to run apt update command. Okay. For example, a developer has pushed a new package into the repository. Okay. Now I'm trying to install that package. It will say the package is not available. What is the reason for that? It will say you already have the index page. Before uploading that particular package into the repository by the developer, you already ran apt update command. You already have the index page. But when I run apt install command, it is getting failed. Package unavailable. What could be the reason for that? Any guess who already knows about operating system little bit? I hope they can answer.
Your index may not be pointing to new updates, right?
Sorry, come again. Little bit. I think you are far away from normal.
Yeah, right. So whatever the changes you developer has been pushed into repository B, that changes may not be pointing to your index still, right?
Yes. So he has done some particular updates in the repository. You don't have that particular latest index page for which you are facing this problem. So always it is better whenever you're planning to install some particular packages on the system, you better run apt update command. Why? Because it will always download the latest index page. If your system has the latest index page, no need to worry, right? See, it doesn't consume anything, right? It will just consume a little bit of bandwidth of the network. That's it. But it doesn't waste your time. You can see if it is already having the latest index page, it doesn't show you any download type, the size of that particular index page. What does it mean? Your system already has all the index pages of the repository up to date. This is the meaning of it.
So
Uh,
basically, your index is pointed to the
The repository.
repository, whatever the packages it has, right?
Yes.
Everything.
So it has the information of the packages in that repository. For example, if you really want to see that information, let me try to pick any one of the file. Uh, 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 um, you can see the package name, architecture, version, priority, section, which category it is, origin Ubuntu, from which repository it got downloaded. All these informations are available. You got the point? What I've told right now, everybody. You can see the information of the packages, the size of the package, dependencies, size of the package. So, sorry, this is installation size and this is the total size of the package. So, I hope your
In
question
the
answered.
Yes, so in the real world, right, when we pushed into, let's say, for example, Java code you pushed into your GitHub repository. So can we see all of them? How many packages are exist in a repository?
Yeah, yeah. So, there is a method. For example, let me try to pick this one. I'll copy this URL. Okay. Just a second. Let me. There is a menu. What happened? Just a second. I'm not able to see the. Yeah. You can see here. You have to search for it, but your apt command automatically searches for that particular packages. Somewhere it is in the pool project or something like that. You can see main, the list of packages with alphabetical order. If I go inside it, I can see some packages. You got the point? I think, is this your question?
Yeah, the location which you show, right, on
Yeah,
the console.
here
So
it
that is a
is.
okay. Uh, can you please go back one moment that into that console? Time now.
Yes.
So this is a default location where we are maintaining in any Unix or Linux systems the
Sorry, come
class
again.
sources list.d you have created, or else by default it
No,
contain all
this is
these.
by default available by the ISP. See, for example, okay, I got your question. For example, let me tell you. Okay. There could be a scenario where you have a new repository, right? Automatically, that will not be added into your system. First, you have to update the source file with this information. Then only it will contact your repository and then it will start downloading the packages. That is a step what we have to do, this particular task. But these two are available by default in my system. How come? Without me adding it? That is part of the ISO. In the ISO
Mhm.
itself, I have this particular information available.
So your source file must contain the repository of your GitHub URL, right?
Yes. Yes.
So how are we updating that source.list actually with your GitHub URL? Then only it able to download all the packages and
Your
it
voice is
will
too
keep
low.
up.
Just a second. Just a second. Let me check the volume from my side. Yeah. Come again. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Hope it is clear, right? Now,
You got the point, right?
yeah, what I'm asking. So this sources dot list it's a by default file, right? Where it is
Yes.
maintaining all the indexes of your repositories, whatever it is contained, right?
Yes. True.
So this sources.list file, do we need to update every time that okay, these are the changes have been made in my
Nothing to be
repository?
touch based. Nothing to do here. Okay. If the location, everything is the same, you should
Mhm.
not touch paste this particular file at all. If you really want to download the index pages only, then we need to run apt update command. Okay. So this
Mhm.
particular step is a one-time task. Just you have to
Okay.
provide your repository details. Nothing should be changed
Okay.
because your location will never get changed. Okay. The suit and components signed by also will not get changed because it is a public repository. We are not purchasing any license key for that. So this public repository will have a ZPZ key. That ZPZ key will be there by default. If you are facing any trouble with that, then we have to troubleshoot and we have to fix it. Okay.
Mhm.
But right now, since we are not facing any issue related to the key ring, the ZPC key related, we will be able to authenticate to this repository and we will download the packages successful and the index pages as well. So
Okay.
right now, my system can communicate only to this two repositories, nothing else.
So in the real world example, I want to ask. So if there is any GitHub URL you have, can you
GitHub URL is quite different. Okay.
Mhm.
Quite different. We don't use that as a repository. That is another repository. That is a source code, what we maintain. It is not the packages, what we maintain in the Git repository. Packages, yes, we will maintain, but not like this. It is a mirror repository, what I'm talking about, not the Git repository.
Okay. So basically, this repository will help you if any software you want to download, whether that available package for that, whether it is available in your system or not, it will check. That's it.
Yes. And one more thing, the Git repository, what you're talking about. See, from the source code, if you are aware of what is a source code, from the source code, we will try to build a packages and only those packages will get stored in the Git repository as an artifact. That concept is quite different. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So that is a different scenario. So here we are talking about operating system packages, not the application packages. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure.
Yeah. So now, yeah, coming back to the point. So whenever you want to download, so not whenever, I would say whenever you're planning to install some particular packages on the system, it is better you run apt update command. It doesn't harm your system, right? Just we will run apt update command. What are the latest index pages available in the repository? It will download and it will store in your system. So that whenever you try to install any packages, it will search for that particular package is available or not in the index, and it will let you know what is the latest version. Even sometimes the same package, they might upload a latest version, right, with some bug fixes and all. Even to download that particular version, it is better you run apt update command. Okay. Now, after you run apt update command, now if I try to install the package, I will not see any error. Last time we have seen the error, right? Saying apt update unable to install the package, right? So now if I run this command, you can see it has searched the repository and it is saying you that this package will get installed on the system. And this is a new package. So what are the new packages it is trying to install? Along with this, it is installing this one as well. Both packages are necessary. Did I told my command that to install this particular package as well? No. Your apt command has realized that both the commands are necessary, both the packages are necessary, and it is getting installed. You can see two newly installed. Okay, and you can see the size of the package. So the size of the disk it will occupy if we try to install this particular packages. It is 295 KB. If you are okay to this, either we have to pass Y in order to continue, or if you want to cancel this particular task, N, abort it. Okay. And if you want to continue, either we can pass Y or we can just give enter. Enter by default is like accepted. You can see first it will download. So what it will do in the background, when you run apt install command, for example, when you try to run apt install command, first it will search for the package in the index page. Okay. And it will let you know what are the dependencies that are needed and your system doesn't have it. Okay. Or it will just give you the list of dependencies that are needed. Now, when you say why, then it will contact the repository. What are the repository it has to? And then it will download the package first. And then it will start installing it. So this is the task what it will perform in the backend. I hope it is clear. Any questions here with this operation, what it does exactly? So this is the advantage what we have. In dpkg command, we cannot do that. It's purely manual task. It is semi-manual, semi-automated, I could say. Whereas here it is completely automated. So it will search for the index page. It will see the package, what are the latest version, and it will go, it will contact that repository and it will download and then it will install. Okay. So finally, I should not see any errors when this command got executed. Okay. If you want to verify whether the package got installed or not, either we can use dpkg command, whatever we have learned yesterday, dpkg-l grep to filter only specific lines. We can see both the packages are available. Or else, if you want to use apt command, apt list, it will list all the packages on the system, similar to dpkg-l. But if you want to filter only the packages, what you're looking at, grep telnet. You can see this is the main package. But we have many of the packages which is having a name called telnet, but the actual packages are inet utils telnet, this one, and the telnet package. These two are main packages. So it is better you run dpkg-l. Okay. Now, next command is how will you remove the package by using apt? Yesterday in dpkg, we have learned about dpkg-r to remove the package. For apt command, we have to use apt remove and telnet. I want to remove only this particular package. So now remove. You can see only the package name what you have specified, exactly only that particular package will get removed. You might ask a question, or let me just confirm that particular thing. When you run apt install, when you're trying to install the main package, if the dependency packages are not available, it will install. But when you try to remove the package, it will remove only the package what you have specified. It will not remove the dependency packages. What could be the reason for that? Who knows about this functionality? When it is trying to install, it will install the dependency packages if it is not available in the system. But when it is trying to remove the package, it will not remove the dependency packages. Any reason for that?
If there is any super dependency for that.
So if those dependency packages might be used by another packages, if it is needed, that might cause a problem for other packages, right? So that's the reason why it will not remove it. That's true. Okay. So that is the reason why it's a default behavior. And now if I give enter, it will start removing the package. Let me verify. Only the name what you have specified, that package got removed. Okay. Now, one more thing is sometimes you have to remove the package along with the configuration files. By default, this command will remove only the package, not the configuration files. In certain conditions, this is a simple package name. That's the reason we don't have any configuration files to get removed. But technically, let me try to remove this package. I'll give enter. Now, even that particular package got removed. But sometimes this particular package may not get removed it will get removed, but configuration files are still available of that particular package. So if you want to remove the configuration files along with the package, it is better we use purge. Instead of using remove, I would recommend to use purge. So what is meant by purge? If the package was already removed, it will remove the configuration files of that package if they are available. If the package is also not removed, it will remove the package and it will remove the configuration files of that particular package from the system. It does both. Okay. So that's what it does exactly with purge command. Okay. Next one. Let me try to show you one thing. For example, I want to install some web server. Does anyone know what is a web server? Examples for that in operating system? See, how will you run a website in any system? See, you're seeing a lot of websites, right? Let us say GoDaddy, Big Rocks, Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart. These are websites. In order to run a website, what is needed?
Web server.
Web server, right? In order to run the web server, what is needed? In order to run the web server, what is needed?
We need a server, right? Web server to run a deploy our application.
You already told, right? Web server. You already have the web server. In order to run that web server, what is needed?
You need resources for that, right?
Operating system.
Yeah.
Simple, right?
Yep.
So we need to have some system. On that system, you need to have operating system. That is called as infra. Okay, so you need to have the infrastructure. Okay, let us forget about what kind of infrastructure, how they build it and all. That is a next level for us. So in order to run a web server, we need a system. In that system, you need some operating system. Okay, so after the web server got installed, then only you can run the web server. Now this is my system. I've created a virtual machine. On that virtual machine, I have an operating system. So my infra is ready. Now what I need to do if I need to run a website on this particular system, first of all, I need to install a web server. If it is Windows operating system, we call it as IIS. But in Linux operating systems, we have multiple options: Nginx, Apache, and I think we have other options as well. I couldn't recall it. But Apache, Nginx is the most widely used web servers like Tomcat. Okay, so these are the common widely used web servers. Okay, so technically the diagram looks like this. If you want to visually understand, you have a system. Let us take a physical or virtual machine. You can install anywhere. Okay, on this, you will install operating system. I'm not specifying anything, just I will say operating system. Okay, after that, what you have to do? You have to install a web server in order to run a website like Nginx, for example. And then you will run your website. After this particular task is done, you will run your website. It is as simple as it. Okay. So architecture wise, this is the workflow. Okay. So without having the infra, you cannot run your website. But there are certain cases where without having the infra also we can run it. That is a serverless architecture. You can ignore it. All these particular terminologies, technologies and all, we'll discuss them one by one. For now, for today, we have to understand that first we need to have this particular infrastructure. Then we need to have a web server. Then we need to run a website. Now, why I'm talking about this one is I want to install this particular web server in my Ubuntu operating system. So what is the package name? The package name itself is Nginx. If you want to install Apache, it is called as Apache 2, the package name. The package names are like this. Since I already know about this one, I'm saying you the package names directly. But if you want to know about this, you have to research on this particular thing on a website. You have to search for that. Okay. Okay. Coming back to the actual point, let me try to install it. That's it. I don't know what are the dependencies are needed for this particular package, but still your system is doing the job. Okay. So let me give enter. It will start downloading and then install it. You can see the installation was done. And if you want to verify it, dpkg-l pipe grep nginx. This nginx web server will have a default page, default web page. You know what is a web page, right? Every website will have a page, home page, gallery, contact us, or let us say menu, services. Okay, all this feedback, all these particular web pages. Web pages together is called as website. If you remember in the demo, I have talked about this one. Website is a combination of web pages. What you will have in the web page content. It could be video, audio, or let's say text or images. Okay, all these particular things are content. Now this content will be there in the web page, and the web pages together is called as website. Okay. Now, if I go back to the browser, or let us say no need to use browser in the Nginx or in the Linux operating system itself, you can run the command called curl localhost. You can say welcome to Nginx. This is a web page. It is a HTML page. This is a little bit HTML code. You can ignore it, but you can say welcome to Nginx. This is the sample page of Nginx. This is the proof that your Nginx server has been installed successfully on your system. From this, we can prove that your Nginx web server was installed on your system successfully. Yeah. Any questions?
Yes, sir. So, will you able to show like a real world example where you created website and deploy into that server and let's up your application? All of this. Will you show
No,
this
no.
practically?
We are not going to discuss anything related to website design. No.
No, no, no. I'm just asking that in any other applications, how we are going to be
Yeah, we
deploying.
can. We can. Let's say that is the second point that people can ignore it. So if you really want to run any website, we can use a website called CSS. I'll tell you. CSS sample websites. There is a website where we can download the templates. Let me just show you. Somewhere I missed it, the URL. Just a second, let me search for it. Static.
So UNGX is a web server, right? So
Yeah,
so into that we can able to deploy some application websites into that where we can host, right?
exactly. See, now my
So
web server is installed. I can run any kind of website here.
okay. So how are we going to be deploying to that NGX and how we are fetching this data?
See, that is far away, right? So we are too early to talk about it. Other peoples cannot understand. How will you deploy it? How you are going to automate this? That is the automation tools we have to learn, right? Straight away, we cannot jump into that topic.
Okay. Okay.
So we are going to automate that process. We'll see that later. Okay. Now, coming back to the actual point, why I've discussed this one is just I want to show you how to install some web server on this particular system. It is pretty simple, right? Just apt install and the package name. Okay. So, but one thing here, it has installed a lot of dependency packages and all. Ignore it. And it has created some configuration files as well. So it is /etc nginx. Later, we'll discuss what are these configuration files, why we use them. That is a next level of us. Now, here I want to remove that package. That is the main task which I want to do. So apt remove nginx. You can see the package is getting removed. So when I specified this one, it is removing this particular package as well. Nginx-common. Both are getting removed. Now, if I verify dpkg-l pipe grep nginx, what it is trying to say? This package got removed completely from your system, but this particular package got removed. But still, I can see in the list. When you see this kind of information, you have to verify the status of the package. What is the status of the package? It is not like this. What is the full form of this one, which I've told you yesterday? I in the sense what?
Install, okay, installed.
Exactly. So that is a proof that your package got installed successfully on your system along with the configuration files. But when you see the status like this, your package got removed, but the configuration files are still available in your system. Let me prove that. Okay. So ls-l /etc nginx. You can see the configuration files are still available, but the package got removed. So what is this information of this RC? Let us try to understand. If you want to know the status of this particular full form of this particular RC, what is the command we execute? Yesterday I have shown with dpkg command. To see the information of the package, what is the command we execute? Information of the package. In dpkg, I have shown one option. What is it?
TPKG
Sorry?
-s
dpkg?
TPKG -s
Yeah, -s.
unpackaging
dpkg -small s
unpackaging.
and the package name. What it is trying to say? See, these are configuration files which are not removed. Okay, and here we can see deinstall OK configuration files. What does it mean? The package got removed, but the configuration files are still available for this package, which are not been removed. To show you this example, I have installed Nginx. Okay, now what is the task that we have to perform? If you need to install the configuration files, sorry, if you want to remove the configuration files as well, this is not the actual command we have to use. In those conditions, apt purge and the package name. Sorry, nginx-common. Now what it is trying to say? It will remove, but look at this, purging configuration files for nginx-common. Package was already removed. The only left thing is configuration files. Now those has been removed from the system. If I want to verify it, now look at the status of the package. It got removed because the configuration files have been removed. No such file or directory. So you understood the requirement, right? So from this particular task, what you have to understand, if you want to remove only the packages, go for apt remove. If you want to remove the packages along with the configuration files, I would suggest to use apt purge. Okay. So this is the conclusion of this particular task, which I want to show. Okay, next thing, if you are okay to this, I'll go to the next topic of this apt command. Any questions? No? Okay. Now, for example, you already have some packages on your system. I want to know which of the packages are available to upgrade. You might have ran apt update command, right? So you downloaded the latest index page of the repository. Now, some packages are already available in your system. Now, that particular packages might have the latest version in the repository. So I want to see the list of packages which are ready to upgrade with the latest version. If you want to see that, apt list -- upgradable. You can see the list of packages. There are some amount of packages, maybe some 60 or 70. I'm not sure with the count. You have to count it one by one. Or else what we can use? There is a shortcut. If I want to know the number of lines, so that I will come to know the number of packages, right? What is the option we have to use along with this command? I've taught you one command in Linux operating system. You know to print the number of lines. See, those commands have teached because you can utilize here. Sorry?
WC, right? Minus
WC.
hyphen L.
Word count hyphen L. So how many lines we have? 70, but you can ignore this particular line. So 69 packages. It will include this line as well. So the total count is 69 minus 1. Okay. So 69 packages are available to upgrade. Now tell me, if you take this example, what is a version that is already available in your system? Which version it is going to upgrade? So this is the current version. What is available on the system? If you run some command to upgrade, it will upgrade to this particular version. 7.1. Here it is 7. Slight difference. You can see 7.1. Here it is just 7. Okay, upgradable from. From in the sense what? From this particular version, it will upgrade to this particular version. So from which repository it will download? Noble-updates. So where is Noble-updates? Let us see. What is the URL of that? Let me show you. So what does it mean? It will download from this particular repository URL. So that is information what you can see here. For example, do you see anything else? All are from Noble-updates. Do you see anything else apart from that? You can see Noble-security. So this package is available in both the repositories. It can pick any one of them. Whichever is nearby, it will try to pick that particular repository. According to the geographical location, whichever repository is nearby. See, what is meant by repository? It is nothing but a server. Whichever server is nearby, okay, that particular from that server, it will download the package. It is as simple as it. Okay, so don't get confused in this particular scenario. Now how to upgrade all these particular packages? If it is a single package, I could have used apt install. Same command we can use. For example, let us say system dev. I can copy it and I can use this command. It will upgrade. You can see. So I can use this particular command to install a new package or to upgrade a single package or multiple packages. I can use for both the tasks. So do remember, apt install can be used to install a new package on the system or to upgrade an existing package on the system. Now it is done. If you see, the count will get reduced. Now it is only 59. Why it is only 59? Technically, it has to be 68, right? If only one package got upgraded. But when I ran this command, some dependency packages are also got upgraded. So totally, these many packages got upgraded to the latest version, which is in the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is the reason why you see only 59. Okay, so that's where it is. Not say you people should not get confused, right? That's the reason why I'm so specific to this particular points. Initially, if you understand this points, right, it will become easy for you to manage the operating system of Linux. Now, if I want to upgrade, see, the problem with this particular task is I can upgrade only some amount of packages. Now, what are the list we have? I want to upgrade all the packages at a time. How will you do that? So in those conditions, we have to use apt upgrade. That's it. It will upgrade all the packages, whatever we have in the list. 57, but one particular package cannot be upgraded. What is that? We will see. This one. Due to phasing. Okay, this particular package is not getting upgraded because phasing. We'll discuss that later, but these are the following packages which are ready to upgrade. 57. You can count. If you have patience enough, you can count. This is 57 and this is 58 total. What it is trying to say. So how much a disk space will be occupied? 237 MB. Sorry, total it is 308, sorry, 302 MB. That is a disk space it will occupy. Okay. If you are okay to this, enter. So it will start downloading them and it will install. So we are running out of time and even the topic is done almost. You can see the progress bar. So this is called as progress bar where you can see the status. How much percentage of the task is done? 36%. Right now it is still, it is installing the packages. Yeah. Download is done. It started the installation. I think still it is in progress. I'm guessing so. The kernel is also getting upgraded with the latest version. If that is the case, this will take few minutes. Yeah, kernel is getting upgraded. Earlier it might have some version. Now it is getting, yeah. Now the latest one is 60. Earlier it is 59. Now it is getting upgraded to 60. It's almost done. I'll tell you one point here, which is so important. When the kernel got upgraded. Yeah. But before that, we can see all the packages have been upgraded except this one. This you have to manually do it. So copy that. apt install and the package name. Now, if I see the list, all the packages are up to date. Done. Now, what else I want to say? Yeah. Instead of using apt upgrade command, upgrade, in place of this, we can use dist upgrade as well. So what you guys have to find out is what is the basic difference between apt upgrade and apt dist upgrade. And please let me know by tomorrow. I'm saying you that we can execute both the commands to upgrade the packages on your system to the latest version. All the packages at a time. Either we can use apt upgrade or we can use apt dist upgrade. So please find out and let me know what is the basic difference between upgrade and dist upgrade. Okay, that we can discuss tomorrow. Now coming back to the point, I told you the kernel got upgraded. Now, the current version of the kernel is this one, 59. But the actual version that was installed is 60 as well. You can see 60, 60. But why the latest version is not activated? Why it is not pointing to the latest version? Because you have to reboot the system. Only when the kernel got upgraded, we have to reboot the system to get it activated. Okay, in order to utilize the latest version of the kernel, only in this particular scenario, we have to reboot the system. If you want any confirmation whether to reboot or not, in Ubuntu operating system, it will create a file if the system reboot is needed. So the file name is var lib system, not system. I think it is. There is one file called reboot required. Let me just search for that. Just a second. All these are folders. There are no specific files. Hmm, just a second. I forgot the path. There will be a file called reboot required.
Where run reboot?
Sorry.
Where run? Where run reboot hyphen
So
required?
now it is replaced. You can see run.
Run reboot. Okay.
So in the latest version, I think they have renamed it. Let us see.
24.
Yeah. 24 last time I have not seen this one. Yeah. No, in 24 also, if I remember, before I teach the old batches, right? In the 24 version itself, I have seen that particular file. Earlier it is used to be like that. Maybe they have changed it in the latest patch version or something like that. Okay. Anyway. So coming back to the point, I found this particular file by using find command. When I teach a find command, you will understand the importance of this particular approach. You can see, right? I don't know the file. I don't know the path of the file, but I know the file name. Okay, in those conditions, we have to use a find command to know the path of the file. So I found out. Now we can see the file. It is saying you system restart required. It is clearly saying you this particular file that system restart required. Only when you have this kind of information, it will create this file, Ubuntu operating system. If you don't see this particular file, what does it mean? System reboot is not needed. System restart is not required. That's what we have to understand. This is the proof that your system has to be restarted. Okay. Yeah. So this is all about your package management in Linux operating system. So we have seen apt command and we have seen dpkg command as the basic differences between them. So any questions? I hope you have to go through the video, practice one by one. Yesterday's videos, today's video, you have to club together and watch it and try to practice all the commands what I've discussed in the package management. Okay. In order to reboot the system, I can use a command as a root user, reboot. You can see. Now the virtual machine is getting reboot. Let me show you. You can see it's getting restarted. Yeah, meanwhile, yeah, any questions?
Yes.
I think I see
I will
one hand
join
has
the
been
screen.
raised. Yep.
After this call, I shared my screen. I have stuck. My Ubuntu machine was stuck.
Sorry,
I couldn't be able to enter any command.
just a second.
So that I'm
My
dropping.
virtual, yeah.
I need to travel office. So
Permission denied. See, you are using a Harish user, right? Harish user by default cannot execute all the commands. Okay, he's not a root user. So I'm trying to explain the scenario. Since we have not discussed about the users and management. So right now, Harish user is a sudo user. Right now, when you run these commands, you have to give sudo before the command. So that's the reason why, since you don't want to fall into this particular scenario, I requested you to switch to the root user first. So how to switch to the root user? Sudo space -i, not control D. Sudo space -i. You cannot log into the root user directly by default. First, you have to log in with your user. Give up arrow, right? Why you are trying to type? Give up arrow. Up arrow. And execute. Give the password of the Harish user. Sudo space -i. Give the password of Harish user. Now try to run the command. It will work. Okay.
yeah, okay, sure.
So do not share the screen without asking me. It's getting
Yeah,
confused. Okay. So
Yeah,
better
okay.
you first raise a concern, then I will ask you to share the screen.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Now, coming back to the point, the system got rebooted. Now, if I log in once again, you have to see the latest version of the kernel. You can see 60. Now your operating system is using latest kernel. Okay. Not the
We
old.
don't see it.
Oh, sorry. Let me share. That's the reason. Okay. I hope you are able to see. So this is the command. If you execute, you can see the latest version of kernel got activated. So before coming tomorrow, you have installed the latest package of the latest version of the package, right? What about the older version? Will they be available on the system, or did they got removed? If they are not being removed, how you can remove the older version of the package? I don't want to remove the package. The older version of the packages I want to clean up. How will you remove that? That's a question for today. Second question. First question is, what is the difference between APT upgrade and APT dist upgrade? Second question is, how to remove the older version of the packages on the system? These are the two questions which I want to get answers by tomorrow. Yeah, now I can come up with the questions to get answered. Yeah.
I share my screen. I have my Ubuntu machine got stuck. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, you can.
Sudhir, I'm dropping off. I need to travel.
Yeah, you can drop off. There's
Yeah.
no topic again.
Thank you so much.
We are done with the class. Yeah.
Yes, is my screen is visible?
Yeah. I can see.
Yeah. I couldn't perform action of this terminal.
Can you give enter once?
Yeah, entered. It get angry. I think so.
Can you just close this particular virtual machine and reopen it?
Okay. It's totally hanged. I think.
No, I mean to say there is a into button, right? Just select that.
Okay.
Now power off. Don't save. Okay.
Okay.
That's the reason why it's causing an issue. Meanwhile, any theoretical questions without sharing the screen? Other people can.
Hi, Sudham.
Hi.
So you are using the key, right, for a private .gpg.
Yes.
So for private the key, what we are using? ASCII, right?
That key you have to get it from the. See, we never contact any private repositories. If you really want to
Okay.
contact a private repository, they will generate a key and that key will be shared to you. Okay.
In real time also same, right?
The real-time
They will-
scenarios. For example,
Oh,
some organizations will have their own repositories within the company.
Okay.
Why they maintain their own repository? Because they don't want their systems to contact public repositories. Okay, for security reasons and all. So they will
Okay.
have their own repository and they will download the packages from that particular repository only. So this will increase the speed and that will ensure proper security was maintained for the systems as well. These are the two reasons why they use internal repositories. In those conditions, they will share the ZPC key. The person who is maintaining the repository, he will share the ZPC key of the repository, and that will be given to the system. And you have to configure that inside the file. What are the path I've shown?
Okay. So here you maintain the repository. So we can maintain multiple repository in
Yeah.
parallel, right?
The system
Okay.
can have multiple repositories. Whichever repository is having the latest version, it will try to download from that repository.
Okay.
If you don't want that repository, you can comment out.
Thank
And
you.
one more interesting question, which is, for example, the same package is available in both the repositories. Can I download from a specific repository? Is that possible? Search and let me know. There could be a requirement, right? You have the package in both the repositories. Okay. But I want to download from a specific repository. In those conditions, what you will do? Just a basic question. If you want, you
Yeah,
can give it a try.
mention repository name before.
No, it's up to you. Like how you will do it practically and let me know.
Oh,
It should work. What are the answer you are trying to say? You have to do it practically and let me know if it worked or not. If it didn't work, what are the challenges you have faced? Yeah. Any other questions, please?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep. Go ahead.
So if there's a latest package available and we don't want to go on the latest package, but we want to do on n-1, can we do that?
Understood. You have to mark the package as freeze. I will tell you tomorrow. Bring up this question tomorrow. I'll show you. There is an option called, since some people have dropped. So there is an option called APT mark. You can search in Google. APT mark.
Okay.
You can mark the package as hold, so that when you run some commands, that particular package will not get upgraded.
Got it. Thank you.